The Verizon time, so remind you to turn your phone to silent or vibrate, please. And let's all stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance first.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chris, would you take the roll, please?
Councilmember Dalby?
Here.
Councilmember Rowe?
Here.
Councilmember Stevens?
Here.
Councilmember Strebe?
Here.
Councilmember Erg? Mayor Lazio?
Here. I'll need a motion for the approval of today's agenda.
So moved. Second.
Councilmember Dalby?
Yes.
Councilmember Rowe?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Councilmember Strebe?
Yes.
This is an opportunity for any citizen to comment on anything on the agenda. So if there's anyone in the audience that wants to address the council, now's the time to step to the microphone. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on.
Accepting the resignation of Andy Morris as City Administrator effective 8/23/2019, subject to the negotiation of a severance package.
Is there a motion?
So move. Second.
Joni,
can I defer to you for some comments?
Yes, there's a staff summary in our packet today, and there's a resignation letter from City Administrator Andy Morris. It is effective today, and it is subject to the negotiation of a severance package, which will be discussed later. And any package proposed will be brought to council and approved at a later date. Okay. So we're just requesting that that resignation letter be accepted and thank Mr. Morris for his several years of service to the city.
Okay. Any questions for Joni? Okay, hearing none, take the roll.
Councilmember Dalby?
Yes.
Councilmember Rowe?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Councilmember Strebe?
Yes.
Thank you.
Appointing Mayor Tom Lazio as the interim city administrator.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Again, I would refer to Joni for some comments.
Thank you, Your Honor. Our current mayor, Tom Lazio, has offered and suggested that he be appointed to serve as interim city administrator until such time as we can get an administrator hired. There was a question raised of whether he could serve as mayor as well as city administrator on an interim basis. I checked Iowa law. In my opinion, based upon Iowa law, the mayor can so serve in both capacities as long as he does not receive additional compensation for that. And he has agreed that he would serve without additional compensation. And as long as a mayor pro tem is also appointed. I also double checked with the League of Cities attorney, and that attorney confirmed my analysis of that situation. So in my view, it is very legal and appropriate that the council could appoint Mayor Lazio as the interim city administrator.
Okay. Any questions for Joni?
I got a quick question, Your Honor.
Sure.
Joni, just to clarify, Mayor Lazio would have all the responsibilities and authorities as our previous administrator. Is that correct?
That would be
Secretary.
correct, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, take the roll.
Councilmember Dalby?
Yes.
Councilmember Rowe?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Councilmember Strebe?
Yes.
Thank you. Item 3.
Hiring attorney Gala Harrison to supervise the negotiation of a severance package with Andy Morris, as well as provide legal guidance to the mayor and council regarding personnel issues retroactive to 6/1/2019.
Is there a motion?
Move the recommendation as presented.
Second.
You want to make some more comments, Joni?
I'd be glad to, Your Honor. Attorney Gala Harrison, who is present today, would be hired to assist in preparing that severance package with Andy Morris. She will be providing and has provided guidance to myself as well as the mayor and council regarding other personnel issues that may have occurred from time to time. So we're requesting that she be hired retroactive to June 1 of 2019.
Any questions for Joni?
Yeah, Joni, has Attorney Harrison already been hired by the city to do such work for us?
Not technically. Technically, no. This vote would approve her hiring.
Okay,
And
and
it is retroactive to June 1st of 2019.
and as our city attorney, what are your thoughts on having someone outside of yourself deal with the severance package?
Well, Gala Harrison has a great deal of expertise in employment law. She's guided us in several other personnel cases that have occurred. I have somewhat of a conflict of interest on this because Mr. Morris is also was my supervisor, so it would put me in a very difficult position. And as you know, I had no idea what occurred until I walked into work Wednesday morning. So I think the mayor was somewhat trying to shield me from being in the middle of that. And I think Gala Harrison does have the expertise to handle some difficult employment decisions that do arise from time to time, as well as assist with the negotiation of the severance package.
Okay, thank you. And have we been informed as a council of what those legal fees might add up to on the part of the city?
Well, the current bill that I received this week was in the neighborhood of $1,300.
Okay, I thought she hadn't been hired.
Well, she wasn't hired as such by the council, but she has done legal work for the city for the last number of years. I did discuss with several of you that I wanted to keep Joni out of the middle of this situation, since she is, as she reported, reports to Mr. Morris. And when I talked to several of you, you agreed with that. So I felt I was doing what you wanted me to do. And so my first contact with her was in June 13th.
Okay, thank you.
And a point of clarification, her bill, that bill has not been paid.
That's
It was
correct.
just received yesterday.
I have a copy of it here if you want to see it.
So this motion would authorize the payment of that bill.
And we don't routinely, as a council, look at every bill that we get from every legal action either. I think, as you know, we've been using Gala for work with several cases, and I think Joni has confidence in her. And as she mentioned, she does teach personnel law here in the area, so I felt she was an appropriate choice. Any other questions, comments? If not, take the roll.
Councilmember Dalby?
Yes.
Councilmember Rowe?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Councilmember Strebe?
Yes.
Appointing Councilmember Matt Dalby to serve as Mayor Pro Tem until Mayor Tom Lazio resumes his duties as mayor.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And
Joni?
again, as previously discussed, Mayor Lazio will be very much occupied as interim city administrator, and it's necessary that that the council appoint a mayor pro tem until such time as Mr. Lazio will return to his active role as mayor. So that's what this motion would do.
And for the record, I did ask Mr. Dalby if he was willing to accept that responsibility, and he said yes. So, any other questions? Hearing none, take the roll.
Councilmember Dalby?
Abstain.
Councilmember Rowe?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Councilmember Strebe?
Yes.
Authorize Mayor Tom Lazio and City Attorney Joni Keith to establish a process for hiring a city administrator, solicit RFPs for executive search firms, and recommend the hiring of an executive search firm to recruit, conduct background checks, and assist in the hiring of a new city administrator.
Is there a motion?
Move the recommendation as presented.
Second.
Any questions? Or Joni, do you want to make some comments?
I think my staff summary is fairly clear. We're going to start the process very quickly. First step is to solicit RFPs for an executive search company that will assist us in trying to attract a new city administrator. And I've attached a skill set. I've attached the current job description. Please review those carefully. Also get that out to our department heads to review, make to myself or Mr. Lazio any additions you'd like to see on that. And then we'll get those RFPs out, and we'll be bringing a recommendation back to council as to a search committee. We're looking at a 3 to 6 months, probably closer to 6 months to fill this position.
And just for council information, I already received in the email this morning an interest letter, and I'll share that with Joni as we build a file for this. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, take the roll.
Councilmember Dalby?
Yes.
Councilmember Rowe?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Councilmember Strebe?
Yes.
Thank you. This is an opportunity for the public to make comments about any item of city business, and if there's anyone that wants to talk about something not on the agenda, this is the time to step to the microphone. Okay, seeing none, I move to recess the council. We're going to go into a closed session, and we need to, you want to take care of that? Do we need to talk about that, Joni? Yes. Okay. So at 12:13, we're going to go into recess. We'll convene in room 108 for a closed session to talk about proceedings. Do we need a motion for that? Okay, so is there a motion to recess?
So moved.
Second.
Matt? Okay,
Councilmember Dalby?
Yes.
Councilmember Rowe?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Councilmember Strebe?
Yes.
thank you. Okay, 12:14.